What's up, Fragrant World? Welcome back to another Stay Fresh production. Yet again, it is a little bit too late for me to be playing trumpet, so I do apologize. No trumpet intro this time, but I have you the next one. My name is Justin Copeland. On this channel, Stay Fresh Productions, we talk about everything fragrance related. If you have any interest and even inkling of interest in that kind of content, you're in the right place. Please consider sticking around a while. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you're always notified when I upload. And please like this video if you do like this content. It really does help with my visibility across the platform. Thanks so much in advance. Today I'm sharing with you an assortment of kind of random fragrances. 3 fragrances that came out this year in 2020 that I think are worth your attention. There are many more I could have chosen, but frankly, I only chose 3 because it's late, I am exhausted, and I don't want this video to be too long because I'm so tired. I see my bed here behind me in the screen on the camera, and it just looks amazing. So I'm gonna be headed there soon, but I wanted to get this video to you. 3 fragrances that I think are worth your attention that all came out here in 2020. The first one up here is a cologne fragrance. I did review this. This has been getting some buzz, and for good reason. From the house of Armaf, we have Club de Nuit Sillage. I don't like the name at all. It does not suit the fragrance at all. It's just very general, very generic. But the scent is wonderful. This is a clone of Creed's Silver Mountain Water, which is one of my favorite releases from the house of Creed, but they improved it here, especially in regards to the current formulations of Silver Mountain Water, which are just weak. They're watered down. I barely get 4 hours out of it before it's gone. It just doesn't have a whole lot of presence to it in terms of the scent profile, but it's still a beautiful scent. But they fixed it here. They retain so much of the magic of Silver Mountain Water. The dry down may not be 100% the same in terms of the ingredients, how they come together, but you're still getting the same vibe, especially in the opening as it dries. You get that metallic nature. It is very cooling and fresh. It's very musky. It has a tea-like nature to it, so it's a little bit calming. There's even a little bit of fruitiness from black currant. It's so special, and the performance is so much better than the Creed. You can get this around 80 bucks on Amazon. You might even be able to find it cheaper on eBay if you look around. I will have links down below if you want to check out Club de Nuit Sillage. If you're looking for a cheaper alternative to Creed Silver Mountain Water, that honestly, if you're asking me, is the best clone that has ever come out from Silver Mountain Water. And I'm not usually one to praise clones, but in this case, I think it's justified because people who love that fragrance but are tired of the price tag and the performance not being great, this is your answer. Links down below. Next one up from the house of Amouage. I've only had this fragrance a few weeks and it has quickly become one of my favorite releases from this year. I haven't experienced a ton of new stuff this year, but what I have experienced, this is up near the top. From Amouage, we have Enclave. I have talked about this several times now. It is both simple but unique at the same time. It paints a beautiful picture. It's about the Musandan Peninsula, which is in Oman, and it's painting a picture about the sun beating upon the cliffs and the hills, warming the rock, warming the earth, but you have these cooling fjords that are running through in this canyon-like fashion. The cooling nature is coming from spearmint and cardamom, fresh, invigorating off the top without being citrusy, which is very nice, but immediately dries to a very warming nature. I think there's some labdanum in here, some leather perhaps. It gets sweet and warm and very sensual as it dries. It's a beautiful transition and it captivates the senses without being off-putting, because again, it does have a very appealing nature to it, but still something maybe you've never smelled before. Definitely recommend getting a sample of Amouage Enclave if you get a chance. See if I can find links down below. Surprise, we got 4 fragrances actually. I want to talk about this one. I think it's Moja. This is the newest release from Meremeta Perfumes, which is based, I believe, in Minneapolis. Will you focus? Minneapolis, Minnesota. I have talked about one of their previous releases called Le Leva before, and this is the newest one. Man, this is a very distinct fragrance. It is characterized by a lot of pear. Tons of pear when it opens up with a nice bright bergamot. It does have a heart of iris and lavender, a little bit waxy, but mostly aromatic. And you do have quite a bit of woods and musk in the base. It is very sweet. So I did see Centaur fragrance reviews. He did talk about this fragrance and he described it as kind of like hairspray. I get that vibe. It has a hairspray vibe to it when you spray it on, but there is a deep richness to it, especially as it dries, as those woods come out that help it from being too synthetically fruity. It's not the most naturally fruity fragrance, and pear, I believe, is not a natural note that you get in perfumery, but it is very upfront. You have to like a sweet pear, but the woodiness does help. I do kind of wish it had some kind of maybe vanilla in here, some kind of almost gourmand-like richness to it, instead of just fruits and florals and woods. But it still smells great. I recommend checking it out. Relatively inexpensive. I think you can get these little 10 milliliter bottles for a pretty good price. So I'll link them down below. Check them out. Okay, and this last one up, I really enjoy this. This is one you don't want to sleep on. This one might go under the radar from the house. From Amouroud, this is called Sunset Oud. Now, one thing I will say off the bat, the name doesn't completely fit the fragrance to me. If anything, this is a fresh scent. You wouldn't think so, but it's mostly fresh. At least when you first spray it on, it is not what you would expect. It's very aromatic and invigorating. You do get quite a bit of rosemary and even some yuzu, which is a very sharp citrus note. Very bright, kind of a bite to it. But it is immediately backed by an aromatic lavender, which almost brings a sweetness to it, and you can tell that it does have some legs to it. It's going to dry down into somewhat of a resinous heart. I think there's myrrh in there, and like I said, there's lavender, but vetiver, it's what they call white vetiver, which is in the heart. If you like lunar vetiver from the house, which is one of my favorites from the house, period, and probably one of my favorite vetivers since to date, it has that same vetiver accord in here, which really brings me to the space for lunar vetiver, which I love. So it made me love this immediately. And it also has the sweetness that lunar vetiver has, but this is nowhere near as spicy as lunar vetiver, because it dries down to an oud for sure, but it's nowhere prominent. It's a dry woodiness for sure, but there's what they call smoked amber. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but there is a sweetness in here. And it only gets a little bit sweeter as it dries, as it sits on your skin. The aura it gives off, it's not really oudy, it's more almost vanillic, but it still has a little bit of a freshness to it, maybe from that lavender. And that vetiver is still kind of present, lending a little bit of a soft woody earthiness. It is amazing, and it's gotten me some great compliments. I definitely recommend checking this out. I hope that Amouroud adds this into their discovery set, which they seem to be always out of stock, but because this is a part of the original collection, I assume they will add it in to the discovery set at some point. But if you can get your hands on this, even in decant form, check out Sunset Oud. This stuff is special, very great quality. You're going to get good performance out of this. It's an eau de parfum. It's going to get you at least 8 hours on the skin, and it just gets better and more sensual as it dries. I'll see if I can have links down below for Sunset Oud. Okay, this should have been a preface, but what I want to say is I do plan on doing a top fragrances of 2020 video. Now, that's not going to be fragrances that came out this year. That's going to be fragrances that I discovered this year that really captivated me and blew my mind. This is maybe a little bit of a teaser into that, but we may not see all of these fragrances in there, but at least one of them for sure. So that video will be coming soon. Make sure you stay tuned for that. How can you stay tuned for that? I already told you at the beginning. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. And I want to take attention to this beautiful t-shirt. I love these graphic tees that I've been experiencing from Into the AM. If you have not heard of them, then you haven't been watching my videos. Maybe you're brand new to the channel, of which you should now subscribe, I hope. But Into the AM, if you're looking for some new either graphic tees or some classic t-shirts, just nice blank classic tee with their beautiful logo, V-neck, they got long sleeve, they got crew neck sweaters, they got sweatshirt hoodies, they got zip up windbreakers, they have brand new underwear which are incredibly comfortable. you need to check out Into the AM. You can bundle, I think, 3 shirts for 45 bucks. Any 3 teaser tanks for 45 bucks. Come on now. And I have a 20% off discount for you. You click the link down below in the description. You use my code STAYFRESH. I think that's the code. You get 20% off your purchase. And each shirt is like 16 bucks normally, so you're paying less than that per shirt with the discount. I mean, you're getting some great quality stuff. So comfortable, so flattering. The fit is fantastic. They hold their color and their shape during the wash. Nothing to worry about. Check you out some Into the AM. Stop waiting. They do ship worldwide. I have some friends over in the UK who have bought from them, and they are very happy with the purchase. Everyone who's bought from Into the AM, thank you for reaching out to me and saying, hey, I love the shirts. Thank you so much for the recommendation. They fit perfectly. You don't want to miss that train. Get in on it now before their prices start going up, because they're going to get popular. So get in on it now. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Join the Fresh Squad. Would love to have you back. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.